Aaron, it's nice to have you on here, man. How
Nice
you
to
doing
have you.
today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
How would you introduce yourself for someone who maybe doesn't know you?
Um, I would really just tell them exactly what I do. Like I try to make my personal brand all around OFM. I try to tell everyone, and
Mm,
I try to have my personal brand as strong as possible, just for recruiting purposes, so I can keep scaling what I have going on. So as long as everyone
mm,
knows me for OFM, anytime they see someone doing OF, they come straight to me. So that's kind of what I want to go off of.
mm. So I want to get into all that later on, but let's start from the beginning. What was your childhood like? Where did you grow up?
Yeah, so I actually did grow up in St. Louis, Missouri. Not going to lie, and childhood was pretty rough. My mom only made about 20K a year. Dad didn't make anything as well.
Mm,
I kind of really couldn't get anything. I had everything I wanted. I had to kind of work for it. But it all kind of changed. When I hit about 16, 17 years old, there was something called kind of in the same field as OnlyFans. I would basically pretend to be a girl and go on different dating apps. And then I kind of ended up scamming so many
mm.
guys where I ended up buying my first car. And then for my first car, it was about $2,800. It was like a Sonata, nothing crazy.
Ah,
And yeah, I ended up buying my first car, and I got a job as a valet at Ruth's Chris. It's like a good steakhouse. Then from there, I kind of networked, uh, got all my pieces through St. Louis. I got all the rich clientele, and then from there, kind of met them as investors, and they kind of put their money into me. Then I left valet and started the OnlyFans journey. It's kind of like a crazy
mm.
story, yeah. Kind of.
Yeah. What was your first car?
Sonata, Hyundai Sonata. It's a 2006.
Shit.
It's like $2,800.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, who did you look up to when you were like back in that age, like 16, 17? Who did you look up to back then?
Um, I would say I looked up to um really, I'm gonna be honest. It was really no one I would look up to because I always thought they were always in a different situation than me. So it's kind of no point of
Mm,
looking up to them because their life was definitely probably easier than mine. You know what I mean? So
mm.
yeah,
Yeah, I get it.
I kind of didn't really want to look up to anyone.
Yeah,
If I did, it's not fair. I can't be them because we live two different lives.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, there always in every entrepreneur's life comes a point where, like everybody tells you go to college, get 100K in debt, and then just go get a 9 to 5 and then work till you die. You know,
Mhm.
when did you decide that all that is bullshit? When did you decide that you don't want to go that route?
That's a good question actually. So I remember right when we ended high school. My GPA wasn't the best. All my friends, their parents paid for their college, and it was kind of like my turn. Like, Ariel, what are you going to do? And it was a hard turning point because I thought to myself every time, I was like, do I go to college? Do I say
Mm,
no? And I kind of made that decision where it was like, you don't need college to succeed. You came this far and did
mm,
everything without college or without school. Like, I never even did a homework assignment before, and it made me think to
mm,
myself, you can take that risk and don't do college. And I ended up taking the best risk possible because all those friends who did go to college ended up dropping out. Every one of them.
mm,
And those are the same people asking me, "Hey, can you show me how to do some OFM? Can you show me how to do this?" And it's like, all right, I
yeah.
took the best choice possible.
Mm. Before you got into OFM, did you try like any other business models, like like ecom and all that stuff? Did you try anything else before that?
Yeah. So I actually did. So I did try e-commerce, right? I did seasonal decor. I did different like Christmas seasonal things for like ornaments and shit like that. Total fail. Not gonna lie, didn't even get one sale. Um, Yeah, I did mobile detailing. It was okay. I ended up giving that to my friend. I also did real estate wholesaling for a while. Also did not have one deal. Right, I
Mm,
had one deal, but it was like a partial deal, so it wasn't all my credit. Um, yeah, those were like my three big ones. And then really,
mm,
yeah, those are my three big ones, and all those were
yeah.
fails. And then this was the first one to kind of do okay.
So, how would you explain OFM to someone who's never heard about it before?
Yeah, so OFM basically it means only fan management, right? So the purpose of OFM is basically you finding a model, right? And clearly a model can't do everything on their own. So you
Mm,
find a model that's let's say making 5K a month on their own. You kind of jump in that picture and tell them, hey, You can take our help as an agency, right? We can help you out. You don't have to do anything on the account. You live your life, but we're going to jump on your account. We're going to chat on there 24 hours a day for you. We're going to give you content guidelines. We're going to market you. And basically, you just promise them that you're going to give them better results than what they're doing on
Uh,
themselves. So imagine a girl doing 5K on her own, but now she joins a team of 20. There's no way we should be able to scale her.
mm,
So then we take a small percentage of what they make, and then everyone is happy. You keep doing that over and
mm,
over and over, and all the girls just compound on top of each other. And then
yeah.
there you go. You make some good passive income.
So, how did you get your first client? Let's say.
Okay, so my first model. Um, so I got my first model actually. So I went to Miami. My first time going to Miami, or second time going to Miami. I met someone named Jack Doherty. You ever heard of that guy?
Yeah, I know. No, yeah.
Yeah. So I met him. It's actually on my Instagram. We were on stream with him, and basically, I found out what he was doing. He was doing OFM, and at the time, I always had a lot of girls. Remember, I told you since I was younger, I was doing that fake girl thing. And I
Yeah,
kind of thought to
yeah.
myself, if Jack Doherty is doing this, why can't I do it? So the day I got home from Miami, I literally called three girls and immediately just started them. Made an account for them, made everything for them, and I threw them on OF immediately. And
Mm,
then I met my partner down there as well. His name was Carmine. And he used to do OFM as well. Well, not OFM, he used to work for an agency, like a chatter. So when I met him and we got down, we just immediately partnered. And then I brought in the girls. He ran the marketing. And it was a slow couple months, but then we started picking up and scaling more and more models. But the first model I got was from personal reach. I literally just
mm,
called one of my girls that I know.
mm. Interesting. So, what's like the differentiate when an OF model does good on OF and some do very badly? Like, what's like usually the main thing?
Yeah, so if I'm being totally transparent, as you know, I'm black and white, right? So my mom's white, my dad's black.
Mm.
One thing I've noticed over the last year and a half of me doing this is black girls do not perform as well. I know it's a super touchy
Wow.
touchy subject. Yeah, I know it's a super touchy subject, but black girls just do not perform. For example, live streams they don't perform as well. Um, I don't know what it is. I have multiple black models now. I'm
Mm.
trying to figure out the way, but they just never will perform compared to a young white girl. It's just weird. And that's me being
Mm.
black and white, totally honest. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. You
yeah,
see, I do feel like because the majority of OnlyFans users, like subscribers, are American. It's like if we take it like not like globally, but like comparing it to Europe, it's a bigger part of them is from the U.S. And I feel like more of the U.S. guys care about European chicks more, or like etc. So it's like it's kind of like it's probably multiple reasons for that. But yeah, this surprised me to be honest. You
yeah,
know,
like I noticed a black girl can only scale to like 10K a month. Now don't get me wrong, I had black models doing about 30K, 40K a month for sure. But just starting a girl from zero, there's no way they're going to take off the same. It's
mm,
not going to be the same takeoff. It's going to be very,
yeah,
very different. That's just something
yeah.
I learned over time.
You know what I started seeing, man, is these these AI models, right? Like dudes be
Yeah,
paying for a chick that's not even real, right? And what do
yes.
you think is this gonna be like the future? Like AI girlfriends and dudes like paying for chicks on OnlyFans that are not even real or AI and stuff like that.
No, absolutely. AI is definitely taking over everything. You got the AI voice. So if a guy's like, "Show me your reel," I'll send you $1,000. You can easily just AI. I mean, there's so many ways around it. It's like kind of scary.
Oh my god.
It's definitely scary for sure. That's
Mm,
definitely an issue though. AI is killing everything. It's not even no point of having a real girl anymore. You can make the prettiest girl in the world.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure that man, doing this, you must have seen so many weird dudes like asking for weird things. What's like the how should I say it? The most like weird experience you had, like that a dude requested or anything.
Um, I have two of them. You got to tell me which one you think is the craziest, right? Because I feel like
Okay.
they're both even. Okay, so the first one would have to be um, a guy telling the girl to shit in a Ziploc bag and then ship it to him.
What the fuck?
And that request was for around
Oh
$2,500.
my god.
Yeah. And then the second one, what was the second one? If I'm not mistaken, the second one would have to be probably shipping used toothbrushes.
What the fuck?
Shipping used toothbrushes was one. Yeah, that was one of them for sure.
Used toothbrushes
Those
is
two are pretty
weird, bro.
weird in my opinion.
Bro,
But there's a lot of weird stuff.
the shit in
Yeah,
the zip bag is probably the wildest thing, bro, I've ever heard. What the
yeah. It was like, and then he wanted us to like put it in some shoes, stuff it in a shoe, and put it like mail it as a box of shoes.
Oh
And then
my
when we
god.
shipped it to him and went through, he was like so happy. He was just on video like hitting himself in the head with it, and
Oh
it
my
was crazy.
god. Ain't no way, bro. Holy
It
shit.
took a long time convincing the girl. The girl did not want to do it at all.
Oh man. Like bro, what the fuck, dude? That's crazy.
No, yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
There's some crazy stuff.
So how do you how what's the best way to get models and clients nowadays?
Yeah, so no, if I'm being so honest, if I'm being brutally honest, it really just comes down to your personal brand, right? The personal brand is so important because if I did not have a personal brand, like me personally, out of our agency, I probably recruited give or take 85 to 90% of all the models.
Mm,
But I would say simply it's because of my personal brand. And before I even had money, I still had I still knew a lot of people,
mm,
and so bro, I feel like if you just have a decent personal brand and a decent pitch, you can close any girl. Because at the end of the day, you're not scamming them, you're helping them no matter what. You just have to you have to make them realize that you're helping them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But
absolutely.
definitely, personal brand helped me a lot. And other than that, there is no other way to recruit models. It's just literally personal brand. You recruit that model right there, then that model has three friends, and you scale her, and now she tells her friends. It's
Mm,
kind of just an ending funnel of free girls just keep coming in.
yeah. What would you say is like harder? Is it harder to like, in the beginning, or is it harder to scale? Like let's say to get the 10K a month, is it harder to do that? Or is it harder to get from like 10K to like 50K a month? Is that harder?
Definitely 0 to 10K a month, I would say is the most difficult
Mm,
stage. Because like my issue what happened when we first started, right? We were doing about 3 to 4K a month the first 2 months. Then out of nowhere I signed a model that was doing 40K a month. Then I signed her friend that was doing
uh,
20K a month. Then I signed her other friend that was doing 17K a month. So right there, my agency went from 3K a month all the way to probably 35 to 40, 50K a month, right?
mm,
And I kind of got too comfortable in that situation. I'm like, oh shit, I already made life. Life is easy now. But then those models ended up leaving me. All three of them ended up leaving. So I went
uh,
from here back to here.
yeah.
And that was kind of a humbling experience. And I had to kind of build that all the way back up.
Mm,
But that just shows, it just shows you can't
yeah.
really judge on that.
What's like what is the most important thing in like, keeping like success long term on OnlyFans? Like, like keeping subscribers and keeping people on, or is it more important to get new ones, or to like keep the same ones coming back?
Yeah, I feel like it's all about just prioritizing them. As long as you're talking to these fans every single day, which we do, and we know everything about the fans, we make notes about them. We know their kids, their wives. We keep notes
Mm,
on every fan. But as long as you're just giving them attention, they're never going to leave. And they
mm,
don't know who else is on there. You just keep remarketing them and doing the same thing over and over. Just a copy
yeah.
paste model. Just never reinvent the wheel. You're going to be good every time.
Mm,
Just keep literally texting these guys every single day. Get new content. Text them individually. Like one thing I do all the time when I send out a mass message, I never say who's up. I'll say, are you up? I want the guy to think I'm texting him individually
mm,
when in reality I'm texting everyone, just to keep the guy's brain like,
yeah.
okay, she likes me. Yeah.
Shit, dude, that's like important because a lot of these guys they don't have in real life, bro, nobody, and they now feel like they finally have somebody paying attention to them, etc. So that's like
Yeah,
maybe
definitely.
the reason why it's so important to them. So man, like this actually makes a lot of sense to be honest. Holy
Mm-hmm.
shit,
And all these guys are married as well. Most of them are always married. And I'll tell
Mary,
you honest. Yeah, like I
shit,
got a girl I'm super close with. Actually, she's a model of mine. She actually her top spender spent around $12,000 with her in her first month,
man,
and turns out the guy ended up working with her.
Mm.
He was just a guy at her work that worked
Yeah.
with her, and we found it out like 6 months later. And it's like you never know who the guy is that's spending money. You never know the guy who loves you,
Yeah.
and that's why when I sign any new model, I always want them to post it on their personal accounts because you never know what guy grew up having the biggest crush on you ever.
Mm.
You never know, and that guy can literally change your whole entire account. Just
Yeah.
that one guy alone.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit. That's interesting. What were like the
Yeah.
biggest mistakes you were making in the beginning?
Um, Biggest mistakes definitely were being too impulsive to sign a model. So like sometimes when I would sign a model, I wouldn't follow full procedures. Like I wouldn't ask for a picture of their ID. Some
Oh.
models I forgot to even give them a contract. I was just so eager to get them started. Then that kind of backstabbed me in the long run because now we're making money on their account. I have no contract to play. First of all, second of all, I don't have a picture of the ID. And
Mm.
what did that do to me? They ran off on me and didn't pay me. So it's kind of a mistake on my end I made just from being too impulsive to sign a model and tell my
Mm.
team, "Hey guys, I got a model." Just not thinking.
Yeah. So, do you have to be in a big city to, like, does like being in a city like Miami, etc., does that like kind of like help, like signing models, etc.?
Absolutely, I would say because Miami is all about motion, right? The more motion you have, the better everything is. So if you're in Miami, you're at a section every night, you're showing your story every night. That's all a girl likes. Me personally, I don't even give a shit, but I know if I want to sign the best of the best girls, I have to do the best of the best things in that girl's mind, which is going to the club, which is buying $20,000 of bottles with me and all my friends. That's just what they like. And once you do that, you always
Mm.
leave with a couple models every time. So like, oh my gosh, who is this young guy? He's 21. Oh, what do you do? OFM? Okay, I want to make OnlyFans now. It's just an
Mm.
easy way to recruit them. That's another form of recruiting. But at the end of the day, it still builds your personal brand.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
the most common reason why guys trying to do OFM like fail? Like they just don't get anywhere with it. What's the most common reason for it?
I would literally say that it's the recruiting. They just can't find the model, And it's two things that you need OFM to strive on. You need fire recruitment and you need fire marketing. If you have those two, you can't fail. It's not possible to fail. What most people have is either one of the two. Either they're okay at
Mm.
recruiting or they're okay at marketing. And if we're being real, the people that are good at marketing are usually like some nerdy guys that are so awkward but just sit on their computer all day and they can't go recruit. They like know the strategy to scale, but they just can't recruit for shit. Which is
Mm.
kind of how it is. Like I'm the guy that can recruit perfect, but I'm not the best marketer. Not going to lie,
Yeah.
I'm not the best marketer. But my team is perfect at marketing, so it goes hand in hand. You know what I mean?
Mm. So,
Yeah.
how valuable is working with other people, etc.? Because I keep seeing this thing of like guys saying they want to go do the lone wolf, that I can do it all myself, etc. But I disagree with that. I think that mentorship or like doing it with someone, learning from other people, etc. I think that's valuable. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need a valuable partner for sure. There's no way you can scale by yourself. Same with the girl's account. She can't scale by herself. It's not
Mm.
possible. Yeah, you can definitely have some results, probably make some money. But if you have a team, it's just so much easier to scale. It's
Mm.
so much easier. Like, same with the OFM space. Like, yeah, I'm a good recruiter, but now I have a team that's doing the marketing. Then I have a team that's running all the chatting. Then I have a team doing Chatterbait streams. Then I have a full time team doing Reddit. Then I have a full time team running Twitters. You have to have a team for that because that was one mistake I made. I thought I could do all this shit by myself, and I was just waking up
Mm.
every day fucking fried in the head. Like, what do I do next? Now I have a team and I focus on
Yeah.
one thing, and it's recruiting. I'm putting all my vision to recruiting. Everyone has their job, and that's the value of having a team. Just make sure everyone's
Mm.
satisfied with the percentage splits. There will be no fighting.
Yeah, and especially even a lot of guys that get the 10, 20K a month, they stay there, right? And they don't scale or like they can't, or like they think they can. What's like
Mhm.
the key to like keep on scaling, like getting from 10K a month to like, let's say 30, 40, 50, then even further?
Yeah, so I would say it's mass scale. The more you mass scale, you can't fuck up. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So as long as if you're doing 10, 20K a month right now, and you know how you're doing it, let's say you got 5 models and you're doing 20K a month, you know in your head, okay, I need 10 models now, and I might be able to hit 40.
Mm,
You know, that you just got to kind of just think about it as that. You know, because you could think about it as I can market harder on these girls, but I never want to trust a girl too hard because I trusted a girl too hard and she snapped a finger at me and immediately left. And I seen everything I worked
nah,
hard for stop. So
yeah,
you know, I never.
yeah. Girls are very like emotional and very radical. So it's like if you trust a girl with your money, like kind of in that sense, it's probably not the best business move. I can imagine that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, what was your biggest struggle throughout your journey
As an OFM in my life,
in your life as a whole?
yeah, I mean, it would really have to be like one thing that hurts me a lot had to be not being taken serious. Because right now, you know, I'm pretty. You can hear me talk. My voice is okay. It's okayly deep and
Yeah.
everything. But just 3 years ago, man, you know, I hit puberty as a junior in high school. So you can only imagine. You can only imagine me running around with the squeakiest voice, being the class
uh,
clown, the funniest guy that everyone knew. And yeah, I would make stuff. I would tell stuff. People would be like, "Oh, he's serious," but I could tell I was never serious enough. Same with my family. You know, I was never taken serious. I was always just that funny guy or the bad one,
mm,
and that kind of always just pissed me off every time. And I knew like I have to, I
mm,
have to make this work because money is the only thing that everyone needs. Everyone wakes up every
yeah.
morning for it. Everyone goes to sleep thinking about it. Everyone has bills, and I knew if I could just succeed in that one platform, that's how you're getting. That's how you can be taken serious.
Mm,
And that's what I focused on every single day
yeah.
because I always worried. Same with my family. If I don't have money, I don't even think I will have a family. I'm gonna be honest
Mm,
because you know there's some personal things that happen with fathers and parents and
yeah.
my mom and dad aren't together at all. And my brothers and sisters I never talk to, but I know if I have money, they're going to always contact me. And
Mm,
it's sad to say it like that, but that's kind of the only way I keep my family together. That's what I'm gonna
yeah.
fucking do, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I.
100%. I'll go home with 100%.
Mm. You see, it's like I feel like it's that part of it. Did you? And you can tell me if you ever experienced this. It's when you are outgrowing your old friend group, right? You're outgrowing them, but you're still not at
That's
the
the one.
level to talk with the multimillionaires who are way above you. But you're still outgrowing these people, so you don't have in common with any of these types of groups, and you're in that lonely period, and you just want to focus on a hustle and trying to level up as much as possible, but it takes time and it's painful. How did you deal with that if you ever experienced that?
So the friend groups kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So luckily, man, I'm gonna be honest. Um, my friends are pretty solid. You know, that's one thing about it. You know, I wouldn't be where I'm at if my mother didn't put me in a good school system because we live in a
Mm,
terrible neighborhood. We used to, and she put me in a school system that's like where it's good, where all the good kids are at. So I met a lot of good friends. Actually, one of my
mm,
friends, his name's Aaron. He does ecom. He's doing about 20K a
mm,
month right now. You know, and he's a super good guy. All my friends have some type of businesses, and they're all doing good. And I never actually had a friend that really backstabbed me or kind of
mm.
outgrew me because we always had the same vision. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some outsiders from high school that are still going to parties and stuff for sure. Yeah, but definitely, my solid crew are all doing good. You know, financing and
Mm,
business and college degrees and e-commerce and running detailing and stuff like that. We all got our own business ventures we're doing. So I never
yeah.
really had that situation of having to leave a friend because those friends are always with
Mm,
me. You know,
yeah, 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 yeah.
thankfully, I haven't.
What's like the difference between thinking big, but some people also say being, and I hate this word, realistic, right? But it's like, what's like the difference between these two?
That's a very good question.
Because I'm sure that you've probably heard this a lot, like when you were just on the come up, and you had a lot of people like telling you, like, what are you doing, right? Doubting you and saying that, like it's not
Yeah,
realistic, etc. Did you ever had that?
yeah. I feel like that thought right there, um, is only what you can imagine. Like right now. you thinking
Mm.
realistically or thinking big. Like you know yourself which is which. So like me,
Yeah.
I want to make $20 million next month. Now they're right. Let's be
Mm.
realistic, but there's no problem with thinking big because
Mm.
you know truly what's realistic and what's thinking big. Now if I say I want to do 100K next month, possible. It is
Mm.
possible. It definitely is. But now if I want to do 20 million, it's like all right. But I feel like there should be no limit on what you think on. Especially if
Yeah.
someone else's opinion is telling you, just don't even take it serious because those are the same people. If you break everything down step by step, they'll jump on it and do it with you. So I kind of don't really
Mm.
take that serious.
I do imagine that like Elon Musk never thought that or that he would be the richest man on earth. Like it would be realistic back then, or maybe he had a vision. Who knows, right?
Yeah, and it's
Um,
all about confidence as well. Elon Musk can say anything
mm,
he wants. Now he knows it's possible. He can say anything he wants. He knows it's fucking
absolutely, man.
anything he says is realistic. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that everybody, not everybody, anybody technically could make it if they tried hard enough, or are some people too far gone?
That's a good question. I wouldn't say everybody can make it simply of the fact of their habits. I
Mm,
love to live by the quote: "Eliminate your bad habits before you make an excuse." Right.
mm,
Um, I feel that you kind of just have to naturally have it in you in a way, or be surrounded by the people that are doing good. Because I can't say everyone can make it, but then they
mm.
go and smoke weed all day or do fentanyl or some shit. Who knows? So it's like you can't really say everyone can make it, but everyone does have the chance to make it, no matter your
Yeah.
situation. Because I can confidently say I know my situation is very, very bad that I came in, but I still managed a way to find a way on top
Mm,
of it. And I feel like all these people that are out here can do the same. It's really just how you think and
yeah.
who you surround yourself with. And you can somehow make it happen. There's no way you can't.
Yeah.
You got to try, at least try. That's one thing I can say. If you try, you can see some progress. And from there, you just got to stay disciplined and just eliminate the drugs, eliminate the vaping, eliminate the partying,
Mm,
eliminate the alcohol. You can do something beneficial. Not saying you
yeah.
can make it to 20K, 50K a month, but you could definitely be on the right path compared to everyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's this one quote from John Mark Stevenson. He said, "Your lifestyle will never exceed your level of self development," which is basically what that first quote from you was. It's like, I mean, how much do bad habits hold you back? Like, do you think that if you started smoking weed now, you would go down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm,
Absolutely. Because I think about weed as you're literally smoking to escape reality. So it's like if you can't live normal
yeah.
reality, why are you escaping it? You know what I mean? Like, and it's not yourself. You go to jail for 10 years, you can't have weed. Are you telling me you're going to just kill
Mm,
yourself in jail now because you can't escape reality? I notice weed is like addiction. Like people smoke weed, and
yeah.
they do it every single day because they love that out of body experience.
Mm.
And it's like, there's no point.
Yeah, and people be saying you can't get addicted to weed, man. I've seen so many people that can't go a day without their kush. And it's like, bro, like I only tried weed like once in my life, and bro, I like
Yeah, same, bro.
yeah, and it's like, man, in my opinion, it's just I don't understand how someone can't live without it. That's the thing. But hey, everybody has a different point of view on life.
Yeah, no, for
It's just
sure.
that those same people then want to hate on the people that are doing well when they're not even trying. If you think about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And another thing I always noticed is like most people who do these drugs are all weak-minded people because they only do it because
Mm,
some old friend they had did it, right? I'm gonna be honest.
yeah,
All my friends growing up, they all smoked, they all vaped, they all did everything. And I was just that one dude in the back that just was like, "Nah, I'm good."
yeah,
Ariel, hit this blunt. No, I'm all right, bro. I'm good, man.
yeah.
And I was always like that. But I feel like it's all about the mindset you have. But I know countless friends right now that are doing good, but back then, someone,
Mm.
hey, hit this. Oh, I bet I'm gonna hit it just to look cool, vaping and shit, just to look cool. And it's like, you gotta just
Yeah,
have that courage to say no.
yeah, absolutely, man. Why do you think so many people give up early? Like you see so many people like, bro, as soon as they hit a little bit of adversity, they just quit, right? Why do you think that is?
I would say because they have a plan B. So if you have a plan B, you're just going to be
Yeah.
like, if it's not, if the results aren't satisfying enough to you, you're just like, oh, well, I got my job to go to tomorrow, bro. Fuck this shit. I'm going to just get my guaranteed paycheck. That's one reason why I had success in this because I didn't have a plan B.
Mm.
Once I left my valet job, there was nothing. There was nothing.
Yeah.
I still had money. I still had money and stuff, but I had nothing. And that made me like, bro, I have to make
Mm.
this OFM shit work or I'm fucking homeless. Literally. I
Yeah.
have to make this work
Yeah.
or I will be homeless. I will
So,
be.
you ever had at any point the thought of quitting or nah?
To be honest, no. If I'm being so
Mm.
honest, I haven't.
Yeah.
There's been times where I'm like, oh shit, man, what if this doesn't work? But there's never in my mind like
Mm.
you gotta quit because if I quit, there's nothing else I have. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
I tell myself every day, nope, there's no quit. Let's just go harder tomorrow
Yeah.
and try
That
it
that
if I
makes
can.
sense, man. What was what was your why always?
Um, my why, I would say, like, why am I doing it? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I would say just for the purpose of success. Just watching
Mm.
those TikToks. I know you know those TikToks, and you just see someone on a jet ski with fucking
Yeah.
Andrew Tate's music playing in the back. It's just that stuff is so soothing to me, and it's like, bro, I know I can do it. And then me having my story where I came from and how I came up, I just know it can be so motivational for a lot of other people that are in better situations than me or worse. But it just shows, there's people out here that are doing courses and shit. They just came for millions already. And I know I can really impact these people, which is what I do now. And
Mm.
I just know I can have that personal branding that can really help a lot of people out. I know I can. I just got to
Yeah.
keep trying.
Let's say if you lost everything tomorrow, let's say if you went to jail for a year or anything, um, how long do you think it would take you to make it all back again now, knowing what you have now? Knowing what you know now, I mean.
That's a good question as well. You got some good questions, man. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I went to jail. How long would it take me to make everything back? That's a very good question.
Mm.
Because the question is, I don't know if jail would defeat me. What if jail mentally breaks me? You know,
Mm.
because that's something I never experienced. Not saying I'm gonna do
Yeah.
drugs or something, but I feel like jail would just fry your brain. Like, it'll literally
Mm.
just fry you.
Like in what way?
I mean, just sitting there, basically jail is solitary confinement.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say, yeah, it really is. And I don't know how jails are over there across the water. Like
Mm.
jails over here will fry you. You just
Mm.
in there with a bunch of guys, a bunch of gang stuff going on. Then you finally get out for a year.
Mm.
I mean, so much stuff can happen in a year. OFM could be burnt out, stocks could be fucked.
Mm.
But definitely, I feel like I will make something happen. I would probably have to work a job normally just to get on my feet,
Yeah.
and then from there utilize that money to do something else. But I feel like it would probably take roughly maybe 2 years after jail just
Mm.
to get back comfortably.
Yeah. Do you think it's like harder to make it all back again because maybe some people are demotivated, or do you think it's easier because you got the knowledge now and you've done it before?
Yeah, so that's why I meant. I feel like yes, I feel like yes, the knowledge I have right now, I could definitely make something happen out of it
Mm.
compared to the average person just going to jail. But definitely, I did it before. I know I can do it again. So that'll be a good loop over
Yeah.
my brain. Like, hey, I know you can do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what's your long term vision
As an OFM or just success in
in your
general.
life as a whole? You know.
Yeah. Long term vision, I would say, is really just to. I really just want to have so much capital and just motivate people. And I feel like that's a fun life right there. As long as I can
Mm.
motivate people, and just do whatever I want, not have a schedule, just do literally whatever I want. That's my vision. And just making sure, family's taken care of and just everything just fluctuating and I don't have to have a worry.
Yeah.
I worry constantly every single day just about something else. I just want to know how it feels to live life with zero worries. I just want
Mm.
to know how it feels.
100%.
My whole life, I didn't have a security blanket. And I just woke up every
Yeah.
day just stressing about some shit like, oh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? I just want all that to just
Mm.
go away. Yeah.
Yeah. How would you raise a son? Because to think that you want to raise a son that can handle the world and can be can apply the lessons that you try to teach him, but also if he's born into money, how do you make sure that he works for it, and how do you make sure that he has the hunger?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would want him to be raised kind of how I was. Like, yeah, I want
Mm,
him to have everything. I want him to have decent stuff, but I don't want to just give him everything because
yeah,
that's what made that click in my brain where it's like
yeah,
I was not given anything and it made me have to try to get it. And it made me kind of hungry. And I seen success from doing that. And I just did it even harder and harder and
mm,
harder. So I want my son as well to kind of have to learn how to do it on his own as well.
mm.
Or at least get him into something early, like give him an ATM machine or a vending machine at like 12, just so he knows how to operate something. Just make sure he has some
Mm.
type of hunger in him. We don't want him to just grow up and have the best car and the best everything without doing
Yeah,
shit. Those are the
yeah.
guys that are typically the most.
Dude, I saw a video where some 18-year-old guy, right, my age. He was like, he was from a rich family in LA. He was like saying on Instagram that he was pissed off because he got a M4 for his 18th birthday instead of, he wanted, I don't know what he wanted, like a Huracan, I believe he wanted, and he got a Beamer,
Oh,
right? And it's like, bro, it's still a 90K car as your first car at 18, or like, I mean, like, bro, you
yeah,
know. And it's like this shit, even if it was scripted or not, this shit happens in real life, right? Like kids are
nah, absolutely.
angry at their parents that they got as the first car an AMG instead of a Ferrari, you know. Like
Yeah,
they actually think like that, and that's
yeah,
just something that
yeah.
I would never want for my kids, bro. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, that would probably be something really like you have to put that hungry mentality into them to like work for it.
Nah,
So
absolutely.
how would you say you've changed in the last, let's say, 3 years? If you like had a conversation
Um,
with yourself from 2 years ago, what would you tell him?
I really just tell myself that you don't know what the hell's coming. You don't know what's
Mm,
coming at you. Because if I didn't go on that Miami trip, I wouldn't be doing this right now, right? Let's be real. I would just tell myself like, it's always had visions that you're going to figure out something. You just don't know what the fuck you're figuring
yeah.
out. But I would just tell myself, just don't stop. No matter whatever is thrown at you, just don't stop. Just keep trying no matter
Mm,
what. Because if you don't try, no one's going to try for you.
mm,
No one's going to try for you. For all I care, or for all these people care, if I fall off tomorrow, they don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, he had his run. Okay, next. Who's the next
mm.
guy?
Yeah.
I'll just tell my yeah. I'll just tell myself literally, just
Yeah,
keep
man.
trying.
And I'm sure you've had to deal with hate at some point, like people envying you, etc.
Oh
Man,
no, for
how do
sure,
you
man, for
how do you
sure.
deal with hate?
Um, I'm gonna be honest. My way of dealing with hate is just making them hate even more and laughing about it. If someone hates, I'm just going to make them hate harder, make them mad.
Yeah.
Someone's like, oh, this guy's doing this guy's doing that. That's fake. And I'm gonna probably go to the club you're at, buy a section, and just throw ones on you, and then do it nonchalantly, make you just so angry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I try. Sometimes I am petty. That's something I need to work on. I say correct bad habits. My bad habit is flexing. I can't stop. I always try to
Mm.
flex on the next person because I never had anything. So it's like, imagine never having anything and having something. You gotta flex it, right?
Yeah,
Because the
man.
journey was
Absolutely.
humble. The journey coming up was very humble, but it's like now I'm gonna talk some shit. Fuck it. All the people laugh. Fuck it. I'm gonna talk a little
Hundred
shit now.
percent, dude. And you see, especially the people that said you'd never make it, and then you finally prove them wrong. Like, bro, what's that feeling like?
Um, I don't really rub it. I don't rub it. Those type of people, I don't rub it in their face. I try to just
Oh.
be different. I try to see them and just be like, "Hey, man, how you doing?" Just forget about what they said, just to see how they act. I
Mm.
love to see how people operate. Like in the back
Oh.
of my mind, I know. Yeah, in the back of my mind, I know you said I would not make it at all, but I would
Mm.
still just try to be as nice as I can to you. See your true colors. Now, if you're like, "Yeah, man, congrats, bro. Not going to lie, you surprised me." All right, fine, conversation. Leave it at that.
Mm.
Now, if you're like, "Dude, I knew you could do it. Oh, teach me how to do it," and I know in the back of my mind you just said I can't make it, then it's like, okay, so clearly
Mm.
this guy is just fucked in the head, and that's where you kind of
Yeah.
piss him off, do petty shit to him, charge him for a course and give him absolutely nothing, shit like that.
Yeah. So
So, yeah.
what was like? what was like your lowest low and your highest high
As a financial gain,
in your life as a whole, like moment, like your lowest point in your life and your best experience ever, like.
oh yeah, I think my lowest would have to be probably hitting hitting literally $10 in my account.
Mm,
Like, I remember that day. It was just like I literally had nothing. Like I never seen my account negative before. And I
mm,
seen that firsthand, and it made me think like, no fucking way. Like, what am I doing? And at that time, I was trying real estate wholesaling,
mm,
but I couldn't land a fucking deal. I was driving every day looking at different distressed properties, contacting sellers, but I couldn't land a fucking deal. And I remember it was like one of the hardest days. Cause I'm like, dude, like I know I can do this shit, but it's just not working. You know, and that was a hard day for me. You know, that
mm.
just made me realize like there. It made me realize to myself there is no one to save you. I can't call a mom to
Shit,
save me.
yeah.
I can't call a friend to save me. That just made me realize like
Mm,
if you don't figure this out, you will fall. You will be homeless. I always say the word homeless because
mm,
that's the only option. You know, if something happened to me, you know, and I don't have anything, no one want to be around me. They're just like, oh, who's this light skinned guy with no money? I'm not letting him tag
mm,
along. No, and they don't want to deal with that. And I'd rather sleep on the street than worry about someone saying, you know, worried about someone in the back of their mind, like, dude, I don't really want you
mm.
here. You're just wasting space. You know,
Yeah.
I'd rather just go outside. Yeah, literally.
Mm.
But my highest high would have to be uh, almost 100K month. That would have to be my
Shit.
highest high.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing that just firsthand and just realizing like, no way, because you know
Mm,
people always think in their head like, oh, 100K month, 100K month. I can't wait till I have it. I can't wait till I have 100K month. But then you get it, it doesn't feel like anything. You're just like, I need 200K. I need 200K. Fuck it. You know.
mm,
And the only thing really good about keep on succeeding more and more is just thinking about the times where you didn't have it. Like when I go to
shit,
dinners and
yeah.
shit, I just talk to my friends about the old days. It's really all it's
Mm,
about. Just reminiscing about the old days,
mm,
thinking about when you didn't have it. It's the only good thing about having it is you talk about when you didn't have it. It's really all it is to it.
yeah. Dude, I'm sure I'm gonna be looking back at these days, bro, in 2 years from now, bro, and it's definitely gonna
Yeah.
be interesting, bro.
And what I suggest too, man, start recording yourself, just the journey.
Yeah,
Because when you
that's what
record
I'm
like
doing, man, every day. Absolutely. I'm gonna be looking
those
back at
videos
this.
I posted,
Huh?
those videos I posted on, I said those videos I posted on OFM when I had like my vending machine or my ATM business. I remember recording that vending machine or the ATM, knowing that I'm gonna use this for when I really do make it. I'm gonna use this clip. And those clips I made purposely knowing I'm gonna re-edit these in like 2 to 3 years. I know I am. I
Yeah,
still do it to this
absolutely,
day.
man.
Yeah,
Shit, man. I want to get in some rapid fire questions before we wrap up.
oh yeah, for sure.
If you could rewind time, or if you could go back for one day in the life in the past, to what day would you rewind to just re-experience?
That's a good question, man. Fuck, that's a good question.
Mm,
What day would I rewind to?
mm.
Oh, these are rapid fact. These are rapid questions. I gotta say something. My
It
bad.
doesn't
Sorry.
matter, bro. We can take our time with it.
Go back to what day would I go back to? You know what it would have to be? It would have to be when I bought my scat pack at 19. I feel like it was the dumbest shit I've ever did. It
uh,
kind of like fucked me up in a way, but I wish I can go back and just
mm,
not try to prove myself to everyone at that young. I wish
mm.
I would have not did that. That was a dumbass thing. But other than that, I don't really have a day I would have rewind. Really, I ain't gonna
Mm. What's the best advice you've been given?
lie. It would have to be man who never showed a flaw has to receive a piece. And
Ah,
that's just for your partners. So, you know, if you got a dude that has never showed a flaw in any way, you know, he must receive a piece of what you have going on. Because those guys are priceless to find.
mm,
You know, like my friends are priceless. You know, these dudes will never let me, you know, they'll never let me fuck up. You know, it's just like,
yeah.
I can rely on my friends more than family. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes I can. You
Mm.
know, yeah.
What's like the worst advice someone has given you?
Um, the worst advice would have to just be really. I wouldn't necessarily say advice, but it would have to be someone that is not in the position I want to be in. Tell me what to do.
Yeah.
So like, someone like, oh, I suggest you do this, but then, you're working at AutoZone or some shit. Like,
Yeah. So, do you have a favorite quote?
um, I actually don't have a favorite quote, but like I said, I kind of just go by the like in my Instagram bio, correct bad habits before
Mm,
you make an excuse. I feel like it's just the most
yeah.
bland quote, but the most meaningful. Like before you sit there and say, "Oh, I can't do it, I can't do this," just look at what you do. You smoke,
Mm,
you do cocaine, you do fentanyl, whatever the fuck you do, and then you say you can't do it. Just put that shit down for a week and just see what happens.
yeah, absolutely. What was your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
Um, biggest failure was losing my three biggest models. I'm being
Mm,
honest. Most profitable or the most um, valuable loss. But I learned really just to have communication every fucking hour of the
mm,
day. Don't let these girls go a day without hearing from you. Or in their mind, they might think, "Oh, he don't care about me. I'm going to leave." Or
mm,
really just prioritize them. Prioritize your money. People who are making your money, prioritize them every fucking second.
mm,
Because if they feel wrong or something and they leave, that can set you back 2 years. You work two
mm,
years to get there. Just you having a bad relationship with that person,
mm.
set back 2 years.
Yeah.
Takes another 2 years to recover from it.
Now, if you were to have a conversation with yourself from a year from now, what do you think that yourself from a year from now would tell you?
Do not stop.
Gotta stop.
Absolutely, do not stop. Yeah,
Ah,
don't
don't
stop at all.
stop. Ah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, do not stop. Keep it going. Yeah, keep going.
Mm,
Focus. Just keep literally doing what you're doing.
mm. Hey,
Literally,
maybe
do
I'll
not
send you this
do not
clip in a
stop.
year from now, man.
Yeah,
Bro.
copy paste. Do not stop. Do not stop anything. Don't change anything. Don't
Mm,
smoke weed. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything.
mm,
Literally, just keep going on autopilot every fucking day,
yeah.
every day.
It's kind of interesting to take a moment to think what our future selves would tell us when we don't know them. But we know what we would tell our past selves. But like right now, trying to imagine if my older self, who's even further than I am right now, what would he tell me? And it's really hard to imagine that. I tried that so many times, man.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm not gonna lie when you think about it like that. It's like
Because
there's so many.
you'll learn so many more. We will all learn so many more lessons as the years go on, but we can't imagine what's gonna come up, right? Good and bad.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
It's
any historical events, anything, you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
yeah, bro, 100%. Man, it's been an
Yeah.
absolute pleasure, man. Where can people find you?
Um. So I'm working on my OFM account right now, the OFM.area account. Working on that now. I don't know what happened. They like banned me or something,
How the
but
fuck
they
did
can
you
find
get
me on my
banned?
Insta. Yeah, I don't know. It had to be someone mad or a different agency, possibly. A lot of agencies do that. But I mean, right now they can find me on my personal Instagram at Arieon dot underscore. The one yeah,
Mm.
just Arieon dot underscore. And
Man,
anyone need help or anything like that, I can always show them a thing or two because OFM is an easy space. It's one of the easiest business
mm,
models. It's kind of I like to think of it as passive income. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
mm,
there is no true passive income, right? Let's be real. Even a fucking vending machine, you still
mm,
have to restock it. But in this case, you make your own schedule. You wake up when you want. It's kind of somewhat passive. You got the chatters chatting
mm.
on the girls' accounts. You kind of just sit there and shadow everything, make sure everything's perfectly working. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it's a super easy business model to get started into, and a lot of young people will love it.
mm.
How I think about it.
100%, man. What's next for you, bro?
Um, as the next business venture,
Yeah, what are you gonna do in the next year or two and the future?
um, so that's a good question. I don't plan on doing OFM for my whole entire life, right?
Mm,
If anything, I'll end up just selling the agency. But I have so many side hustles that I can do
mm,
from the money I'm making with OF. Like for example, now that I have capital, I want to try to get into real estate, get some rental properties out,
Mm,
stuff like that. Um, Definitely real estate for sure. I mean, you can't fuck up with that at all. You
mm,
can't. Yeah,
yeah.
but probably that or do white label services. Like so all the services I do for OFM, sell those to other agencies and shit like that. I
Mm.
mean, there's so many ways. Online money is a fucking glitch. It's literally a
Yeah,
glitch.
bro. Like if you told this someone like 6 years ago that, bro, there will be guys that are 18 making 50K a month, etc. Bro, they would think you're
Oh
crazy.
yeah,
Like for
dude. When I go to Miami, there's literally everywhere you look, you see a fucking 20-year-old or a 19-year-old
mm,
pulling in crazy shit. Like you just walk up to someone, hey, what's up,
yeah,
bro? How you doing? Yeah, man, I do ecom. I'm doing 35K this month. You're like,
mm.
damn,
Yeah, dude,
yeah,
it's
for real.
crazy, bro. Because I just turned 18, and bro, it's like I feel like I'm kind of behind because there are guys that are 15 making 30K a month, 50K a month at 15, 16, which is, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, but you also got to realize though, right? Because I used to think like that as well. See, I'm only 21 and I still think I'm behind, right? Now, you also have to realize all those 18-year-olds that are doing dumb shit, that are at college partying, that are at
Mm,
fraternities, that are at sororities. So you're not technically behind, but it's good to always think you're behind
yeah.
because it make you want to keep going harder.
Yeah,
But
and I
realistically,
never wanted
there's some
to.
fucked up
I
18 year
never
olds.
wanted to compare myself to those partying drug addicts, etc. Anyways, right? That's never where I wanted to end up. Anyways, so why would I compare myself to them? But yeah, man, I absolutely get what you mean, bro.
Well, yeah, no, definitely I see that too. But you have to realize the percentage you're trying to compare yourself to is already a low percentage out of the average 18-year-old.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I
Like,
get it.
let's say out of 100%, there's maybe only 5% of the 18-year-olds trying to do what you do. And you're
Mm,
probably like the last bit of that 5%, if that's what you want to say. But at the end of the day, you're 95% ahead. You see what I'm saying? So I know
yeah,
what you mean, though. I know what you
yeah. Aaron, it's been a absolute pleasure, guys. Thanks a lot for watching till the end. Thanks for taking time of your day for this, man. And
mean. Nah, for sure, man, for sure.
guys, thanks a lot for watching till the end. I'll see you all on the next one.